Aditya, come here. Till this patient gets shifted, we will see one or two examples of what we had seen last time. Basically, what we are trying to do is showing maximum cases so that the orientation is developed, and whenever you see next time that pattern or that type of flow, then you are very confident what is there and what you should do. Yeah, please. Full screen. Mic दो उसको. Give him mic. हाँ. Mic. हाँ? नहीं कहीं तो चालू करना. नहीं, this is your presentation. This is scene. Full screen करना तो. काय झालं? हाँ. Start.
So good morning everyone. So there was a 57-year-old male patient who came with complaining of the right-sided weakness and difficulty in speech since the last 2 days, and for which the CT brain was done, which was suggestive of an acute non-hemorrhagic infarct in the left temporoparietal region and which was extending into the left gangliocapsular region. Subsequently, the patient was advised for a carotid Doppler. So this is the B mode transverse view. ये हो रहा नहीं क्या? This was a B mode transverse view of the common carotid artery, in which the common carotid artery shows normal color filling, and after the bifurcation, the external carotid artery showed normal color filling, while the internal carotid artery, there was echogenic material noted within the internal carotid artery, and which did not show color filling. So this was suggestive. There was no flow in the internal carotid artery, which was suggestive of complete occlusion in the internal carotid artery. Complete occlusion was noted within the internal carotid artery. Similarly, in the longitudinal view, we can see the common carotid artery was showing normal color flow. This was the external carotid artery, which was showing normal color flow, and no echogenic material was noted within them. However, the internal carotid artery, we can see echogenic material within the internal carotid artery, which was completely occluding its lumen, and no color was seen within it, and suggestive of the complete IC occlusion. So proximal to the occlusion, this was the proximal common carotid artery, while this was at the bulb of the common carotid artery, in which we can see the PSV, the peak systolic velocity, was decreased in the proximal to the occlusion, and also the diastolic flow was reduced, which was suggestive of the stump flow proximal to the occlusion. If we compare the left common carotid artery with the right common carotid artery, we can clearly see that the peak systolic velocity and the diastolic flow in the left common carotid is decreased, which was proximal to the occlusion. So we have seen in an occlusion patient, we have seen there is absent flow signal in the distal ICA, and it was seen on the CC and spectral analysis. There was a high resistance stump waveform and absent end diastolic flow, which is noted just proximal to the occlusion. There is decreased arterial wall pulsation on the B mode, and there is evidence of flow diversion. Normally in an occluded patient, the external carotid artery show increased flow. In the absence of any occlusion in the proximal ICA, the absence or reversal of the diastolic flow should raise a suspicion of the distal ICA occlusion. Similarly, in the same patient, the left vertebral artery and the right vertebral artery were seen, in which the bilateral vertebral artery was slightly asymmetric. The left vertebral artery was normal in its caliber, and it measured around 0.5 centimeter, whereas the right vertebral artery shows reduced caliber, and it measured only about 0.27 centimeter. On spectral Doppler, there was slight reduction in the PSV and the diastolic flow in the hypoplastic vertebral artery. So this was a normal anatomical variant which was noted in the right vertebral artery, which is a normal anatomical variant, and which is characterized by the underdevelopment of the vertebral artery. Mostly the patient are asymptomatic, and it is normal variation. On radiographic fissure, significant luminal narrowing, if it is less than 22 mm, it is quite significant, and the vertebral volume flow is usually less than 30 to 40 ml per minute, and there is decreased peak systolic velocity and diastolic flow in the hypoplastic artery. Normally they are asymptomatic, but in few cases they have more chance of developing inferior cerebral artery infarction or lateral medullary infarction. Subsequently, the patient was taken for the CT contrast, in which the findings were correlated. Here we can see the common carotid artery in the left side, and complete occlusion is noted in the internal carotid artery on the left side. Also, on comparing the diameter of the vertebral artery, the right is quite hypoplastic as compared to the left vertebral artery. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
More case, and Dr. Varun will present that case.
Good morning, everyone. So this was a 43-year-old male who came with complaints of ulcer over both feet since 2 months. He was a smoker since 15 years, no history of diabetes or hypertension. So clinically they were suspecting cellulitis. The patient came for bilateral lower limb arterial Doppler. Now on right side in the superficial femoral artery, we can see the monophasic type of spectrum in the superficial femoral artery. We can see the similar type of spectrum in the popliteal artery and the posterior tibial artery. Both the arteries are showing monophasic dampened flow with reduced systolic velocities. Similarly, on the left side, the left superficial femoral artery is showing monophasic flow with reduced velocities, rounding of peak and reduced acceleration time, and similar flow in the left popliteal artery, left anterior tibial artery, and also in the left posterior tibial artery. So there is monophasic flow in both the lower limbs, starting from the superficial femoral artery. So in this situation, we can suspect a occlusion proximal in the upward direction. Now on examining the abdominal aorta, we can see on examining the abdominal aorta, we can see that there is echogenic material noted distal to the origin of the supramesenteric artery. On color examination, we can see that there is filling defect noted in the abdominal aorta. So this was a case of the thrombosis in the abdominal aorta. This thrombus was extending from distal to the origin of the supramesenteric artery up to the bifurcation and into the common iliac arteries. The common iliac arteries could not be assessed due to the chronic thrombosis, but dampened flow reduced monophasic flow in both the lower limbs starting from the common femoral artery. So in this scenario, we can suspect a thrombus upstream. This was the spectral Doppler in the abdominal aorta proximal to the thrombosis. The spectral Doppler is almost normal, mostly because the flow is going to the celiac and to the supramesenteric artery. Thank you.
we have seen these cases, just revision of what we have seen since morning.